How strange is life that someone was there yesterday and no more today. Yes, I am talking about Padma Bhushan Srimati Mrinalini Sarabhai. From is she has become was a celebrated dancer and choreographer. She has achieved an international reputation that is unmatched by any contemporary Indian classical dancer. The syntax of her creativity mediates between a moral commitment to the traditional form and the desire to claim one's own experiments as unique and unrepeatable. Called the high priestess of Indian dance by dance critics, she was a pioneer in creative work and has given new concepts to traditional dance forms with fresh perspectives and new mysteries. She was internationally recognized dancer and choreographer whose reputation for innovation was unmatched. She has trained and retained the purity of Bharatanatyam and yet invested it with her creativity. Mrinalini Sarabhai was the most gracious dancers ever born. She epitomized the good manners, courtesies and high breeding. Despite her high station in life, she has remained most accessible dance icon of India for over 9 decades. Yes, born in 1918, she has crossed 9 decades on earth and just passed away on 21st January 2016. She has touched many lives and mentored many more. Born on 11th May 1918 into a Brahmin family in Kerala, her father, Dr. Subbarama Swaminathan, was a renowned barrister at the Madras High Court and principal of Madras Law College, while her mother, Ammu Swaminathan, was a social worker, freedom fighter and former parliament member. Her elder sister, Captain Dr. Lakshmi Sehgal, was the Commander-in-Chief of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose's Rani of Jhansi Regiment of the Indian National Army, Azad Hind Fauj. Her elder brother, Mr. Govind Swaminathan, was a famous barrister who practiced in Madras as a specialist in constitutional and criminal law, apart from civil law and company law. He served as the Attorney General for the state of Madras with great distinction. Amma was raised in Switzerland, where she learned the Dalcroze method, a Western technique of dance movements. Upon returning to India, she received her education at Shantiniketan under the guidance of Rabindranath Tagore. It was here that she realized that her true calling was dancing and decided to pursue a career in this art form. She went to the United States and enrolled at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts to train in dance. After a while, she returned to India to continue her training in classical dance forms. She learned the South Indian classical dance form Bharatanatyam from Muthukumar Pillai and then Meenakshi Sundaram Pillai. The classical dance drama Kathakali from Guru Kunchukurup and Mohiniyattam from Kalyani Kutiyamma. All of her dance instructors were renowned masters in their own fields, and thus she received the best training that she could get. A dynamic personality, she believed that new dance forms do evolve over time, but it is also important that they develop from a traditional classical foundation. A pioneer in the field of Indian classical dance, she was the first classical dancer who turned to choreography. Born to a social worker and political activist, she received her early education from Shantiniketan. Determined to receive the best possible training in different dance forms, she learned Bharatanatyam, Kathakali, and Mohiniyattam from some of the most prominent dance gurus of her time. She went to attain great fame as a dancer not only in India but also in several other countries around the world. Married to the physicist Vikram Sarabhai, she became the mother of two children, but family life did not diminish her passion for dance even a bit. Following a successful career as a dancer, she turned to choreography and has choreographed more than 300 dance dramas. She has been bestowed with many national and international awards for her contribution towards classical dance. Post her training, she established herself as a talented and graceful dancer. Being trained in several forms of dance gave her an edge over other classical dancers who had been trained in just one form. She married the prominent physicist Dr. Vikram Sarabhai and moved to his home in the city of Ahmedabad in Gujarat. Dr. Sarabhai was a broad minded person who encouraged her to pursue her passion for dancing. Dusty industrial Ahmedabad had no cultural institutions of note. In 1949, she, along with her husband, set up Darpana Academy of Performing Arts. It was founded as a small dance academy intended to teach the art of dance and to propagate the Indian classical dance forms through performances. Over the years, the institution grew manifold and became a center for the study of folk, tribal, classical, and contemporary dance, theatre, movement, puppetry, and music. The academy focused not just on imparting education in the arts, but also sought to use arts as a means of bringing about positive social changes by influencing the general public and the policy makers. The academy uses different art forms to educate, empower, and raise awareness about the critical issues facing the society. Over the decades, she went on to choreograph more than 300 dance dramas, including the highly acclaimed musical Krishna Gopala and this Mahabharata. In addition to being a choreographer and dancer, she was also a prolific writer who has authored numerous novels, poetry, plays, and stories for children. She was the chairperson of the Gujarat State Handicrafts and Handloom Development Corporation Limited and one of the trustees of Sarvodaya International Trust, an organization for promotion of Gandhian ideas. She is best known for founding the Darpana Academy of Performing Arts, a center for the arts which focuses on teaching different forms of art. The organization also works towards women empowerment and addresses other social issues relating to human rights and environment. In 1965, she received the Padma Shri. In 68, she was honored with gold medal by the Mexican government for her choreography for ballet Folklorico Mexico. In 1991, the Gujarat government honored her with the Pandit Omkarnath Thakur Award for valuable contribution in the field of performing arts. In 1992, she received the Padma Bhushan, the third highest civilian award of India. Mrinalini married the acclaimed physicist Vikram Sarabhai in 1942 and had two children, Kartikeya and Malllika. Her first major choreographic work that really ushered in the new direction in dance direction was Manushya. Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru saw Manushya, and after she performed Manushya in Delhi in 1948. The choreographer in Indian dance, there is no such great tradition of a creative choreography in Indian dance. It was Mrinalini Sarabhai who first used Bharatanatyam vocabulary to speak of moods and themes other than the traditional devotional ones. She talked of bride burning and of pollution in her dance dramas. Mrinalini has choreographed more than 300 dance dramas, including Manushya, The Life of Men, Matsya Kanya, Vasant Vijayam, Nalakhyan, Tasher Desh, Geeta Govindam, Shilapadikaram, Vikram Aurashyam, Meghaduta, Sarbhendra Bhupal Kuravanji, Gauri, Abhisarika, Usha Aniruddha, Pallaki Seva Prabandham, Valli Kalyanam, Yashovarman, Malvika Agnimitra, Krishna Nagan, Prahlad Charitram, Pancharatna Kritis of Tyagaraja, Ashwathama, Stri, Priyadarshini, Bhakti, Bhama Kalapam, Marichavadham, Ahimsa, Kirartha Arjuniyam, Mohini Bhasmasur, Sampurna Ramayana, Nataraja Vandana, Memory, Vidhi Natakam, Kumara Sambhavam, Shakuntala, Chandalika, Atma, Revelations and Surya. Her latest dance drama, the musical Krishna Gopala and the Mahabharata mirror today's world. Whenever I read about caste oppression, gender bias, or tree cutting, I try and translate it into poetry, which finally expresses itself as a dance sequence. I hate it when people take shortcuts with art. Any art can only be owned by patience and perseverance. Though experimentation is fine and I personally encourage it, a performer should be careful while doing so. Simplify and innovate all you want, but don't mess with the basics. It is sacred, says Amma. Titled The Artist and Her Art, the hour-long documentary shot in 2011 comprises shots of Mrinalini's original choreographies followed by their modern versions presented by members of Darpana. Among the pieces included is Shakuntala from the 70s, in which Mrinalini vehemently attacked patriarchy by adorning her protagonist with feminist gunpowder. In another piece, Krishna, the musical, she married the classical Bharatanatyam to Western musical forms such as jazz and rap to tell a mythological story. In Tasher Desh, she used Kathakali and in absurdist fashion, reflecting Rabindranath Tagore's interpretation of Brahminism, while Dance of Life was a dance drama revolving around science. Along with her journey, she also had Chaturni Panikar and Guru Sri C.R. Acharyulu, who contributed their might and their knowledge in establishment and furthering Darpana. And Mrinalini has written novels, poetry, plays and stories for children. Among these are Captive Soil, This Alone is True, Devadasi, Understanding Bharatanatyam, Bharatiya Nritya Kala, Longing for the Beloved, Khan, Secret Dance of India, Creations, Visions of Vasavadatta, Bhasha's epic play Swapna Vasavadatta, Mahabharat, Krishna, My Beloved, Return of Bharata, Urmila, Naladamyanti, Krishna, the Prince of Vrindavan, Kiratarjuniyam, Ramayana, Geeta Govinda, Usha Aniruddha, the youngest dancer, Stories of India and Krishna. She has also written articles for journals, magazines and the arts on subjects that vary from English literature and language to the influences of herbs and mudras on health, to the silk route and the patola textiles of India, and the southeastern trade routes. Malllika Sarabhai was born in 1954. She is a multifaceted personality, trained in Kuchipudi and Bharatanatyam. She has immensely contributed to the fields of acting, writing, and publishing and films. She is the original multitasker and has done all these things very well. She is a born communicator. She is a social activist and has participated in many socio-developmental projects initiated by the United Nations. Born to the famous dancer Mrinalini Sarabhai and reputed space scientist Vikram Sarabhai, Malllika is a woman of many dimensions and talents. She is a noted dancer, filmmaker, TV anchor and social activist. Malllika Sarabhai, an alumnus of IIM Ahmedabad, was trained by C.R. Acharyulu in Kuchipudi. As a young dancer, Malllika won many international awards for her classical dance, including the French Palme d'Or, the highest civilian award of France. In 1977, she took over the reins of Darpana, the arts academy founded by her parents. As Malllika started to crystallize what it was she wanted to express through her works, she drew on many elements to create her choreographic vocabulary. Of course, the elements of her classical dance were there, but so were the rhythms and steps from the works of her folk dance company. Malllika studied martial arts forms from South India and from Northeast India. She observed and stylized everyday movements and gestures until she could create pieces which react to communal violence in India, Mean Streets on Earth, which celebrates ritual behind her dance Tattakali, or the rites of passage of a woman, Ceremony 1. In these and many more, she is still experimenting with other musics, with video accompaniment, with multi-arts forms. In a very real sense, these interdisciplinary works are deeply in the tradition of Indian performance, and now these works too are being invited around the world. Malllika Sarabhai's theatre works reflect the challenge of society and sends a strong message. Her natural charm with conviction creates a unique style of presentation. Sita's Daughter won her rave reviews, as did her role in Peter Brook's Mahabharat, wherein she played Draupadi. Following are some of the works that we will discuss here. And Unheard Voices is a physical musical theatre piece. It is based on Harsh Mander's book Unheard Voices. The story is about the lives of marginalized faces, the beggars, children at the traffic signal, and Chotu, the little child at a roadside restaurant. These are stories of struggle and courage. Then, now, forever, this revolves around the multiple lifestyle of the people of India. It attempts to show the resemblance between the life of the tribals of Mizoram and their lifestyles with the Bollywood. The show takes the audience from the temples of southern India to the forest of the Dangs in the minds of today's creators. Malllika Sarabhai started her acting career at the age of 15, has worked in more than 30 films. In 1984, she played the character of Draupadi in the Mahabharat, directed by renowned director Peter Brook. The movie was launched in French and English. Some of her critically acclaimed films include Love Songs, Yesterday, Today, Tomorrow, Peter Brook's Mahabharata, Kalahaksha, and Thousand Flowers and Katha. Her film journey was a lot in Gujarati films. In 1982, she founded the Darpana for Development, concentrating on the development of performance as a language for change. She also formed Janavak, the voice of the people, to archive and preserve folk and tribal culture of India. Deeply excited by the possibility of continuing the work as an activist on TV, in 2001 she launched Darpana Communications. She has also produced over 2,500 hours of broadcast programming in Gujarati, dealing with social issues like gender bias, communal hatred, and the environment, corruption, violence, and so on. It's very strange that one who never wanted to be a dancer for a long time has become a path setter for Indian dance. Malllika Sarabhai never tried to confine herself to a single character in life or in dance. After being recognized as a reputed dancer and film actor, she also made herself count in the world of publications. In 1979, Malllika Sarabhai published India's first design magazine called The Inside Outside. Following are some of the acclaimed books published by Malllika Sarabhai and Mapin Publishing Private Limited: India's Daughters, Cultural Guide to Ahmedabad, Spectacular India, Jute Handlooms of India, Sufism and Beyond, Romance of the Golconda Diamonds, From Mustard Fields to Disco Lights, Parvati, the Goddess of Love, Documenting Chandigarh, Image and Imagination, 5 Indian Artists, Performing Arts of Kerala, Understanding Kuchipudi is a co-authored, Krishna and Srinathji miniature paintings from Nathadwara. In an effort to serve the society, Malllika Sarabhai took up many development projects, including the Acting Healthy projects in 2008. The project, supported by Art Venture, took crucial learning on how to avoid maternal deaths and infant deaths amongst the very deprived communities. Besides, she has also played an active role in the UNICEF Peer Educator Project, UNICEF Anandashala project in 2005-7, Fatehpur Model Village project, and UNICEF Rural Health project. She remains the leader of socio-cultural life in her region. Namaste.